Good morning, everyone. I wanted to go down to St. George's Market, but as you can see, the weather is not cooperating. So my option right now, stay indoors by going to Titanic Belfast. The good thing about this Tim Hortons is it's located right in front of the bus stop for bus G2 Purple Bus that'll take you directly to the in front of the Titanic Museum. So finally we are on the bus or tram G2, and this should be about a 6-minute ride to right in front of Titanic Museum. So behind me is the actual site where the Titanic was built at this harbor right here. In front of me actually is a museum dedicated to the Titanic. During the 19th century, the Belfast Harbour Commission improved the flow of Logan as well as expanded the shipyard, which resulted in a boom in the shipbuilding industry in Belfast. After immigrating to Canada as a child, the first English language film I ever seen is Titanic, a 1992 IMAX documentary about the exhibition crew searching for the wrecks of RMS Titanic. And that is the start of my lifelong fascination with this ship. So today I'm going to fulfill my childhood dream of visiting its birthplace. In 2005, plan was announced to build a museum dedicated to the Titanic to attract tourists to the area, with the aim of completing it by 2012 to mark the centenary of Titanic's maiden voyage in sinking. Titanic Belfast is a 12,000 square meter interactive museum located on the site of the former Harland Wolff shipyard in the city's Titanic Quarter, where the RMS Titanic and RMS Olympia was built. I recommend you come early and take advantage of early bird tickets, plus it's less crowded, a bonus. Opening as scheduled to the public in 2012, the museum is occupied by a series of exhibits, galleries, virtual tours, and rides illustrating the story of the Titanic, which hit the iceberg and sunk during her maiden voyage in 1912, and her sister ship RMS Olympic and HMHS Botanic. The first gallery is named Boomtown Belfast. It recreates scenes from Belfast at the time of the Titanic's construction in 1909 to 1911. It illustrates the city's major industries before leading through the original set of gates from Harland Wolff shipyard into the interactive floor presenting Titanic's construction plan along with the original drawings and the scale model of the ship. The shipyard section consists of a ride aboard a mini-car up the steel scaffolding standing 20 meters. Visitors to the top of the gantry where the scene of shipbuilding are displayed through audio and images, along with a 6-seater car which takes the visitor on a ride through a recreation of a shipyard which moves through a scale replica of Titanic's enormous rudder.
And my brother's after me. He could prepared you for the size of the rudder. You should be the largest passenger. I was there from all had to fit into that gap.
Your tour also includes a ride here. It's very slow.
Every ship cost a life on it. I worked in the frame bending shop. You had heat. You had to bend them more than you needed because the frame straightened out at 4.5 tons. They were taller than my dad. The plates were overlapped on the edges, some were raised, and told me years ago. And threw it up to the catcher, and there were 2 of us on the other side of the plate to hold it up. We had to hammer the rivet so it filled the hole before it turned dull red. Down in that double bottom, you only L plates. You could hear it all the strength of the ship. There's no straight line. The stern frame had to be strong enough to take the rudder turning in heavy seas. You'd have all these timbers and guy wire. I was torn between pride and fear.
The launch gallery portrays a scene from the spring day when the Titanic was launched into the Belfast lock, watched by 100,000 people. It overlooked the slipway which Titanic was launched, followed by a fourth gallery representing a large-scale model of Titanic to illustrate how the ship appeared to its passengers and crew, depicting all three classes of cabins. Right behind me is third class. That's, I think, all I can afford for now, but will I find that rich English girl? I'll go for the first class right there. Equivalent to $130,000 today's money. Essential feature in the gallery represent a 360-degree computer-generated tour around the Titanic through all levels of the vessel, from the engine room to the dining salon and the bridges. In the fifth gallery, which depicts the ship's disastrous maiden voyage from the recreation of the ship's boat deck, visitors can walk through the wooden deck, sit on the benches, or look out at the view across the dock. The sixth gallery portrays the sinking of the Titanic with the background sound of Morse code SOS message being sent to other ships. Images of the sinking are combined with audio of survivors telling their stories and illustration of the confused press reporting of the disaster.
Fearful that the hot water that came up from the boilers might boil me.
The aftermath of the sinking is documented in the seventh gallery, which is dominated by a full replica of one of the lifeboats used to evacuate the passenger from the ship. As well, American and British inquiry into the disaster are portrayed on either side of the lifeboat through videos and information panels.
That is incredible.
The last gallery presents the Titanic as she is now, 12,000 feet below the surface of North Atlantic. Interactive presentation features the discoverer of the wreck, Dr. Robert Ballard. The gallery illustrates his expedition to the ship through footages, audios, and images. Fish eye view of the wreck is set under the glass floor.
Even here there's more of those rusticles.
So for those of you who don't want to pay for visiting the museum, you can just come up to this area. It's free of charge. You get to see a lot of the artifacts left behind from the design of Titanics and a few debris. It's actually pretty cool. I like it. Your Titanic Belfast ticket also includes admission to SS Normatic, the only surviving White Star Line vessel in existence today. Its designer is Thomas Andrew, who also designed the RMS Titanic. Her purpose was to transfer passengers and mail to and from RMS Olympic and RMS Titanic. In 2018, after extensive restoration to the ship, it is converted to a museum, which both lower and upper deck passenger lounge and open deck areas on the bridge are open to visitors, including the first and second passenger areas. Internally, Nomadic was fitted to a similar standard as a liner Olympic and Titanic, which she was built to serve. As such, she had a lot more luxuries than other tenures of her day, with cushioned benches, tables, pork and water fountains, sex-specific bathrooms, and a buffet bar. She contained ornate decorative joinery and plasterwork, particularly in the first-class lounge of the ship.